What do you think about 50-50 on first date?
I'm more of a traditional sense
Mhm.
of I'll pay for the first date. And if you decide to pay, then I don't mind it. It's really up to the two parties and how they feel within a relationship. But most of the time, in the traditional sense, the guys would pay. And I think to add on from there, like that's the reason why I didn't want to go, at least personally for me, like I didn't want to go to a super expensive place because I know that I'll be expecting and I know I will
Mhm.
pay for that. And if I'm going, maybe multiple dates in case if the previous one doesn't work, like I have to pay for that.
Mhm.
And even with like the dating apps, right? I have to pick and choose which one I want
Mhm.
to go on a first date with because I know
Yeah.
I'm going to pay. And then if I'm going on like multiple first dates, I'm like, I don't really want to, like, why am I spending money and time for things that aren't working? And that's why it's really important for you to have that initial conversation, maybe do a little bit of homework of like, who is this person and see if they have some sort of attraction to you based on the messages, based on the questions that were asked. And you filter those out. I think most guys, they just shoot their shot, whatever hits, they're going to go for it. As opposed to guys, maybe not raise the standard too high, but enough for you to understand what you like and don't like. And give a somewhat of a chance for a person, for a woman or a guy to be, maybe their profile isn't the end all be all. Maybe their pictures is just some sort of, not the best pictures.
Yeah.
But then when you see them in person, it's like, holy hell, you're a better person than online.
Yeah,
So
that's how I feel about you when I met you in person.
thanks.
'Cause you put, like, all non-face, like, there barely any photo of your face, your actual face in there. It's only about, your travel destination and stuff. We're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
But I feel like it's an ego thing for guys to, like, spend a lot on a first date. I feel like in some guys' perspective, it's like, "Okay, let me show this girl that I can, like, provide or I can, like, pay for stuff."
That's because 2 things. One is a guys things in a materialistic and logical thing.
Mhm.
Like, hey, if I can provide all the resources to pay for expensive dinner, then I should be the best mate for you. Because guys think that women think like guys. And for example, like just because we're bigger and muscular, we're gonna get a lot of women. Just because I have a six pack, we're getting a lot of women. But
Mm,
it's definitely more than that because it's about your personality, it's about your character, it's about how you have confidence in yourself. What responsibilities do you have with your pets, your family, and how that translates into
and your values.
and your values too. So that's one. The guys think that girls thinks like guys. And number 2 is usually a competition with other guys.
True.
Like, if I could bring this woman into this fancy place and then you see all the other, guys and gals who are out there and you see the level of standard that you provide for yourself. Or maybe you have a conversation with a friend. It's like, yeah, I took her out to this location and it's super expensive. I can afford it. So it's an ego thing from
Yeah.
a guy to guy perspective. And I think that translates into the dating world or maybe in the social media that we see
Mhm.
of, put yourself out there and raise your standards and things like that. And, for me, it's the opposite. I like to start low. Start low and build yourself up.
Yeah, if when a guy that started out on a first date with very expensive dinner, and the girl gonna expect more. Like the girl either gonna expect more dinners like this gonna happen or like this lifestyles have to last for a long time. So if you think you can keep up with that lifestyle, expensive dinner, always eating out or like go to expensive places, then you can do whatever you want, start out big. But if you think you're not sure that you can keep up with it, then you shouldn't set that high of expectations for
And
girls.
yeah, and that's the thing too, right? If you are a guy and you're taking out girls on a first date, you shouldn't put a lot of emphasis on where you're going
Mhm.
or what you're going to do. Put more emphasis is how you carry yourself, how you have confidence, how you have a conversation with women. Women love having conversations,
Mhm.
asking the
Yeah.
right question as opposed to, "Ooh, what's your favorite place that you want to travel to?" Or those generic questions. Those first dates, even though they're somewhat of an interview conversations, get to know the other person, it's really important to filter out like what's are the non-negotiables or what
Yeah.
are the things that you can compromise, what are the things that you find attractive in another partner. And that's really important as opposed to I think we should go to this dinner and I think it's this expensive and this
Yeah.
menu. Worry about the things that you want to talk about with the other person and your character.